Why is it that so many people eat poorly for years, ignoring their health until one day the doctor says to them, if you don't change soon, you are going to die, and suddenly everything shifts and they're jolted into immediate action. They throw away the junk food, they start working out, their whole lifestyle changes, and so what exactly happens in that moment? They experience urgency, and urgency is the catalyst for change. It's the emotional wake-up call that moves people from a place of complacency to a place of taking action. It shuts down procrastination, distractions, excuses, and it forces people to act right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, but right now. And so if you've been waiting for motivation to magically appear, then it's time to stop. Instead, you need to create a powerful sense of urgency in yourself that compels you to take action today. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 steps that you can use to create that urgency, stop relying on motivation, and finally start to take action and move forward. The first step is to bring the problem closer. The truth is, you need to snap yourself awake. You need to scare yourself into taking action, because if you don't, you will just keep on heading down the same path and your life is going to continue to get worse. The reality is, if you keep spending all of your time scrolling on your phone, then you will never build the life that you want or actually focus on the things that matter. Just imagine hitting 50 years old and you've missed out on so many opportunities because you spent all your time glued to this device. Or if you keep eating the way you do now, your health is going to decline. Imagine 5 years from now struggling to move or being out of breath from walking up the stairs, or worse. These aren't just hypotheticals, but they're the reality that you risk if you don't make a change. And many people sugarcoat these truths because they don't want to upset anybody. Self-care has become all about surface level fixes, having a bubble bath, having a glass of wine and some chocolates, or just sitting down to watch some TV after a bad day. But honestly, this does a major disservice to those who need to hear the truth. You should be scared of where you might end up. You should be upset, because if you do not do anything, your life is going to continue to get worse. And look, I'm not trying to say all of this because I want to upset you, but I just want you to wake up before it's too late. And this is the harsh truth that I needed to hear many years ago when my life was a complete mess. If you want to change, then you need to face reality head on and look at the path that you are currently heading down. I had to do this with myself. When I came out of living from a psychiatric hospital for 4 years, I had to really look at my life and the future that I was heading down. And I had to get very honest with myself and ask myself, is this what I want? And so I encourage you to spend some time imagining your life 5 years from now. Where will you be in 5 years' time if you keep on doing what you're doing right now? And take 15 minutes to journal about it. What will your life look like if you don't change? How will you feel? Will you have regrets for not acting sooner? What would your future self say to your present self if they could? Would they beg for you to take action right now? Would they plead for you to stop doing what you're currently doing? Sometimes you have to bring the problem closer and face that painful reality, because only then will you start to take things seriously and start taking action. Step number 2 is to cut out distractions. Many people think they need more motivation, but what they actually need is less distraction. Distractions keep you from making a change, because why would you take action when you're being constantly entertained or avoiding the problem? And honestly, I think most people have this backwards. They fill up their life full of distractions and then wait to feel motivated. They're waiting to feel motivated to work out or study or work on building up a business, and that's exactly why they stay stuck. The reason you don't feel motivated is because you are distracted, because you're giving your brain too many options to escape reality, which means you never have to face your problems. And so you first have to remove the distractions, and then motivation will follow. Honestly, every big shift in my life happened because I removed distractions. I used to struggle with social anxiety. I was depressed. I would be in my room all day. I'd scroll on my phone for 9 hours of the day. And the day I deleted my social media accounts and cut out distractions is when finally things began to change. Why? Because I was left with no other choice but to face my problems. I had to sit with that discomfort, and that discomfort pushed me in new directions and made me make difficult choices. The kind of choices that actually led me to real change. Everyone always says they'll do things tomorrow, they'll work on their goals tomorrow, they'll get to that thing tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes because they always get lost in their distractions. If you were to remove your distractions within a matter of time, your environment would push you forward and it would force you into taking action because you're left with no other choice. And I'll be totally honest, it's hard at first. It's uncomfortable, but you have to trust that what's on the other side is worth it if you keep on pushing through. And so here's what I would recommend. Delete social media apps off your phone and only download them when you need to use them. Cancel all of the TV subscriptions that you don't need and unplug the games console and put it in another room. And then sit down and face the reality of your life. You can keep running from your problems, but you can't hide from them forever. Stop giving your brain endless routes to escape and make the difficult decision to cut out the distractions. Step number 3 is create an anti-vision. I recently came across this idea from the creator Dan Coe, and he says if you don't know what you do want in your life, well then start by clearly defining what you don't want. Create a vivid picture of the life outcomes and habits that you want to avoid at all costs. Sometimes when motivation feels impossible to find, focusing on a positive goal can feel a bit overwhelming, but an anti-vision can create a sense of urgency because it taps into your fear of falling into a painful or undesirable future. For example, here's a few ideas of my anti-vision. But I don't want to get to 60 years old and have spent my whole life working in a job I hated, feeling unfulfilled. I don't want to waste my life away scrolling on my phone and just watching all of my time slip by. I don't want to surround myself with negative people who bring me down or limit my growth. And I don't want to end up unhealthy or feel uncomfortable in my own body. And so when you clearly define what you don't want, it makes it much easier for you to now see which direction you need to move in. That mental picture forces you to face the real consequences of what might happen if you do nothing. And so ask yourself these questions and start to create your own anti-vision. What's the worst case scenario you want to prevent in your life? What habits or behaviors do you refuse to let define your future? What kind of relationships or friendships do you want to avoid being trapped in? Sit with these thoughts, reflect on them, and let them push you in the right direction. The truth is, if you don't make a change, nothing will change. You may think you have time, but time goes by so fast. Before you know it, a year will go by, 2 years will go by, and if you don't make a change now, you will be in the exact same position or worse. Why let things get that way when you have the choice to take action now? Click here to learn about the perfectionist mindset and how to overcome it, and I hope this video could have helped you. All the best.